I am a little blown out. But live stream nonetheless. Hopefully my mic sounds okay. Didn't do a ton of testing. I don't know why it's so blown out. Looked good a minute ago. I know it's definitely not HT, that's for sure. But that's not my fault. It's my cord. Let me go do some posting. I forgot the S. I forgot the S. That's okay. Our Monster live stream, changing the whole name of the series because of a typo. All right. Posted to the socials. There's a live stream of me just looking through Twitter. So enjoy this for a couple minutes until maybe we get a couple more people. I can't stream on X because well, I didn't give them any money. I used to be whatever you call it, verified, but you know it's 200 and it's a stupid amount of money. Basically, it's 2 comic book pages a year, and it's worth it just to do the comic book pages, especially when I'm not getting any more reach for it. Anyway, might as well start. If anyone's watching, I know one person's watching. I don't think it's me. If you're watching, go ahead and comment. Let me know if I sound okay. My mic might be kind of blowing my mic out. I haven't live streamed in a hot minute, so but I'm here. I forgot to post to Discord. Un momento, por favor. And then we shall proceed. No. No. Speaking of, because no one's really watching except for one person. You can tell whoever you want. I don't mind. But along the same vein of whatever you call it, not caring enough about Twitter being a cesspool. Saw man, what's his name? Hey Adam, got you in my ear while I'm on the boat, buddy. On the boat sounds nice. You know, that was one of my favorite. That was a John should. I know John's doing his own thing and he's been very busy. I mean, understandably so. But if he were to do more streaming, he needs to do boat streams, comics and fishing. What would you call that? Panels and reels. I don't know, something. Because I enjoyed it. That was fun. It was unique. But yeah, I saw a guy. Adam, you're not going to be very familiar with the guy, but the guy on Twitter, he's been in and out of the drama on Twitter. Indie Comics has a lot of drama if no one's aware. It's pretty worthless and stupid, unfortunately. Mainly on Twitter. But he was part of it for a while, and then just saw a post the other day saying, "Yep, I'm done. I'm out of Twitter. It's nothing but a hellscape." And I mean, he's not wrong. Not wrong. I'm there with him. You know, I had another conversation over the weekend. I said if I wasn't doing comic books and this kind of stuff, I mean, it's fun doing live streams and things, but if I didn't need to reach people, I would not have a single social media account. There's zero reason for it, other than to hang out with Adam and others. Right now, this is the main reason. You're the reason I'm on Twitter, so thanks for that. All right, we're 10 minutes away. I'm going to launch at noon. That's my goal. Launch at noon. Our Monsters Volume 2. I'm very excited. Being completely frank, I was very happy with how Volume 1 turned out. Very happy with how Volume 1 turned out. Volume 2, it was one of those like trying to like recapture the spark, or almost similar to anything that you nailed the first time, or at least perceived nailing. Yeah. As long anything you perceive like, oh man, I really killed it with that, or this was well done, and then you have to do a second version of that, I'm like, it's not going to be as good. That said, I am very happy with Volume 2. So awesome, and thanks to Luna for all the hard work that she put into it. She put an insane amount of hard work into it, with her creepy images and really weird mental problems that I appreciate, because I have them too. So the theme of this, let me do a couple more posts. I mean, here's the thing. I'm posting on Twitter. You know? I don't want to post on Twitter. That's so crazy. Anyway. It's crazy. Like I post Twitter, and then I'm just scrolling on Twitter for a couple minutes. And all I see is murder. I see like 5 videos of people dying. Really cool. It's become super casual, which is awesome. All right, so 5 more minutes. So before I launch, this is gonna be loud. I want to remind anyone watching or in the future that we have an awesome book that just released, even though we're promoting our monsters right now, as in, you know, it's, hold on one second. You know, I mean, it's in pre-launch and everything like that. So it's about to launch, and then we'll have a new book out. But even though that's technically the purpose of this, I wanted to give a special shout out to Dave Schwartz with our newest release from Bent Box Comics. I forget where you are sometimes. Confederate Monster. So we went to Ocala Comic Con. My wife and I went to Ocala Comic Con for a little workcation, and it was a lot of fun. Very tiring. Spent a lot, the hotel was kind of garbage, no offense to them. I mean, offense because it was garbage. But this book got a decent amount of love at the con. Egotistical blowhards. It's awesome. I'm so excited that Dave teamed up with us and that we're working with him to release this. Hopefully we'll have everything obviously on the website pretty soon for you to order physically, even though I got a bunch of physicals right here. If you go to a con, or a con that we're at, you'll be able to pick up a physical. Otherwise you'll have to get it on our website. Coming very soon. Hopefully by tomorrow. Supposed to meeting with the guy today. We'll see. We have that. We have a new one, Ash by Daniel Loeb. It's a historical fiction. It's hard to pitch historical fictions. It's not impossible. I love the book, and I'm really excited for the story, and the art's fantastic. That can be enough to kind of get someone over the edge if you just show that. But funnily enough, at the Ocala Comic Con, I'm working with a husband and his wife, and I'm trying to pitch him on all of our books, and I'm pitching him on Wingless, and then Artificial, and then yada yada yada. And I think the husband ended up buying Artificial and Confederate Monster, I believe, and so that was cool. And then she's like, I only read a comic book once, and it was like this historical fiction comic that I really was interested in, but that's all I've ever read. And I was like, funny you mention that. I have a historical fiction comic right here. She ended up buying a copy of Ash. It was kind of funny. It was just like, this. It's kind of random. Thank you for giving me a layup. But if I can get people's eyes on it, a lot of times they buy it. Just because the art's fantastic. And then I give them a little background, about what it's about. I'm a decent salesman, if I do say so myself. As long as I can get your attention and your eyes on the product, I typically can sell you any of the books we have at our disposal. All right, I'm going to open the page because we got 2 minutes. See, look. I'm on Twitter right now. Let me switch to that. That's better. Other funny story is this was approved like 15 days ago when it was finalized. And then I went to look, and I guess there was an error with my bank because I ended up having a fraudulent charge on there. Someone stole my debit card. fun long story about being an adult, you know. Anyway, I never thought to check this, and it actively like updated and was like, hey, there's an issue, so it is no longer approved. So I had to go through all that stuff about an hour ago because I panicked. I was like, oh no, 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 no. But thankfully Kickstarter's pretty awesome with fast approval. I mean, it helps that we've done a bunch of campaigns already, but I was worried, you know, it says up to 1 to 3 days. I'm like, well, crap. Global Comics is blowing up for us, man. Sorry, this is just filler talk until noon when I launch. Hey, it's noon. All right. I'm double checking. Our Monsters, Volume 1 through 2. Unsettling single-page horror stories. Project by me, Bentbox Comics. By 5 p.m. EST. We just need $1,000. Just a whole K. 1 stack, please. Feel free to give us more, but nothing crazy. I'm ready to launch. I've read these details. I kind of lied right there. Let me read these details. Yeah, let's do it. Live button pressing. Congratulations. I was like, I don't know if you can see this. I don't think you can. Let's snip this bad boy. We're live. Another Kickstarter. Tell you what, I do love doing Kickstarters. They're fun, but they're not for the faint of heart. They're stressful. I have $4 already. Holy crap. Guys, this is insane. Chill. Thanks, guys. Maybe it was you, Adam. Let me make sure my stream's still working good, because I haven't been paying attention. All right. You know what? We are live. We have $4. We are at whatever the math is for that. We're at like 0.01% of our goal. Almost there. Can't wait. Let's go through it. So you guys are kind of seeing this extra stuff because this is the oh. This isn't the first time I've done this, I promise. It actually might be helpful because my webcam's in the way. It's a little helpful. We'll do that. Alright, so Our Monsters Volume 2 is officially live. Look at this creepy SOB. I liked it. Figured this would be a good thumbnail. I wonder if the trailer will play well. Let's see.
Woo! All right, one more time.
I don't think it's showing, is it? Well, if it didn't show, I apologize, but it's a pretty sweet trailer. Go check it out on either our Twitter or our... Oh, don't do it again. Or Instagram or whatever. It's creepy. John helped us with that one. John Shell of Wingless Notoriety. All right. So, the story. Welcome back to the world of our monsters. They live among us, hiding, watching, waiting. I wish I had like a voice changer. That way I could make it sound creepy. I'm not good with voices. Dive into 30 plus pages. Yes, plus means we might add more by the end of the campaign. Of pure nightmare fuel as we share with you more of our deepest, darkest demons. Each short is a self-contained horror story drawn straight from the twisted mind of Luna A. I don't believe that's her real name. I believe that's her, like pen name or whatever, or whatever you want to call it. Persona. I like it though. Luna's pretty cool. I call her Luna. Who knows, maybe you'll see your own monster staring back at you. What makes our monsters different? Everything. This is a truly unique series that is inspired by Brazilian comics other than small titles. This book has no lettering, no one speaks, no narration. Luna leads you through each story with the magic of her pen. This allows your imagination to flow through the page. You feel what the character feels. You face to face with a terrifying monster. Its eyes piercing your soul. I like that. It's kind of a copy-paste job from the previous one, but I just thought it went so well that I brought it back. Because that's what the series is. One cool thing about Luna, not a lot of people know this, or maybe not a lot of people probably that read this book know this, but Luna also does game design stuff. She's making like creepy low-res games. Definitely go check her out on Instagram and Twitter, I believe. Preferably Instagram. Let's take a peek. Obviously, I had to throw in the thumbnail image page. This is actually, I think the first page that she did for volume 2 was this page. And I'm like, all right, we're back. This reminds me of the swing set page. I was like, I like it. From volume 1, if you're unfamiliar. This one. I showed this one to John, and he said the creepiest part was her smile right here. See, that's rude. This is basically Luna, by the way. If you follow her anywhere on her Instagram, she kind of like, if there's a female character, she tends to kind of put herself in the stories, which is cool, but at the same time, slightly terrifying that all this is happening to poor Luna. And this one. So this one right here, each one of our volumes is going to have some form of a theme. This theme, volume 1, by theme I mean like focal point. Not necessarily a theme, but more of a focal point. Volume 1, basically, sorry, I'm really tired. Basically, volume 1, the hair lady, if anyone's familiar with that one. The really creepy teacher in like I think the second page, and then basically she's a reoccurring monster. And the reason why that became a thing was because I didn't hate, you know what I mean? Like that specific character or monster creeped me out the most. I didn't like it. So I basically said this one sucks in a good way. So it needs to be more prevalent in this volume. Like it needs to be a reoccurring creature that's almost like stalking you. Because technically none of these pages are supposed to have any through line. No, it's self-contained horror stories. So that's kind of the cool part about it. But as a writer and someone who enjoys, a payoff at the end of something, I added a through line for volume 1. And then when we were discussing volume 2, not many people know, or I think I've mentioned this before, I had a pretty long stint of a issue with something called the sleep paralysis demon. If you are unfamiliar with the sleep paralysis demon, go look it up. It's super cool. So for volume 2, I told Luna, let's lean in on that. So our focal point, our theme, is the sleep paralysis demon from my childhood. And I wrote this page specifically because, once again, you know how most horror things go. It's always a unwritten rule, or it's probably a written rule somewhere, that you don't necessarily show the monster early. You want to build tension. You want to show it off slowly and slightly as you move throughout the movie or book or whatever, and then lead to a big reveal. It kind of heightens tension and builds anticipation and yada yada yada. So, yeah, I made this page specifically to be an early page to kind of give you a tease of that main monster for Volume 2. And Luna really did a good job. I love her art style. It's creepy. And then speaking of, once again, if you're familiar with Volume 1, you'll notice that the cover of Volume 1 was basically the primary monster, that like long-haired lady. Volume 2 is the sleep paralysis demon. Our Monsters, Volume 2. Someone said it reminds them of like Freddy Krueger meets Tim Burton, and that sounds awesome. I would watch that movie in a heartbeat. That's the cover. We didn't do like alternate covers per se. We're trying to keep it pretty simple for this series where it's just a single cover. Once we get more volumes and everything, we might come up with some cool alternate covers for like a hardcover version of like the whole anthology or the whole collection. But for now, we have Volume 2. Reward tiers, so you can get the digital for $4. Catch-up bundle digital for $7. That's $4 for Volume 2 and only $3 for Volume 1 if you like math. Our Monsters Volume 2 physical, $10. That's pretty standard for us. We try and keep everything around $10 or less. There's no real reason to price gouge other than to make more money, which is nice. But I would like the value to reflect what you're getting. And even though it is very high quality print and a decent amount of pages and content, just so we're semi, whatever you call it. You know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to say. Competitive. There it is. Thank you. $10. Catch-up bundle physical is 17. That's 10 for the regular and 7 for Volume 1 for those of you who like math. And then once again, as we did during the last one, we have a Your Monster bundle. So Your Monster bundle is Volume 1. I've said that twice, I think. Volume 2, the current volume, along with all campaign-related add-ons, which would include a sticker pack of some of the monsters featured in this new volume, a poster of the cover. I'm gonna try to stop yawning. Poster of the cover, a iron-on patch for those jean jacket lovers out there. My daughter has one of the artificial sunflower. It looks sick. It's really well done. And this just felt like a perfect patch. Would be this. I don't know if you can see it very well. Maybe I'll show a zoomed up version in a minute. But yeah, for $100, because the main reason why it's a little extra is you can also be part of Volume 3. So 2 people ordered this on Volume 1, and we we're working with one of them to get their story translated, or their story implemented into Volume 2. The other one hasn't responded yet to our emails, so hopefully he does. If he doesn't, maybe I'll grandfather him into Volume 3. But the guy who's doing Volume 1 right now Gosh, I keep doing it. Or from Volume 1. The guy who's writing a story for Volume 2 came up with a pretty cool story, and I like it. He actually came up with 2 really good stories. So we're definitely using it, and we're going to implement that in. So if you would, and there's a limit of 5 for these. So if you have some creepy stories or some terrifying instances, or, you know, if you're a little twisted in the head too, like we all are in some way, and you want to see your nightmare on paper, hit this up. Limit of 5 though. We're only going to be doing 5 of these. So don't miss out. Add-ons, as mentioned up here, we have the add-on, which is sticker pack. These creepy sons of guns. I like them. It's good stuff, man. I kind of just stare at this one. Get lost in his eyes. And his 97 teeth. Cover poster. Foil cover upgrade. So even though we don't do an alternate cover like a lot of people do, we are going to be doing a foil cover upgrade that you can have as an add-on. It's for $5, and we will make the cover foil like nice and so shiny. It'll be pretty sweet. So I hope a lot of people buy that. Mainly just so we have a bunch of foil stuff, because I think it'd be awesome. And then the iron-on patch. Once again, get lost in his eyes. It's beautiful. This is us, the team. Me, myself, and I, and Luna. She honestly puts a lot more into it than I do, I feel like. I try and give her as much credit as I can. Because, I mean, I think I wrote a decent chunk of this book. The last book I only wrote like 4 or 5 pages. This one I wrote a good chunk of it. Next one I'll probably write a decent chunk of it too as we progress. But yeah, she's killer. The Bentbox promise, as always, we here at Bentbox value human creativity and the intrinsic sense of soul that comes from the heart of these complex meat bags. First try. Basically, just no AI. We ain't doing that. It was funny. I wanted to do this iron patch, and all we have is the actual like flat sticker image. And so, just out of curiosity, I was like, went to AI, and I was like, make this image look like a patch that you would iron onto a jean jacket. And I was being very specific. I said, add the texture and detail of the fringed edge. Allow it to look three-dimensional. I was being very specific. I was just curious. I was like, can it do that just to allow me to have like a reference image or something that would show what the patch would look like? Because obviously I literally just ordered these, but I don't have them in yet, so I can't take an actual picture. It did the worst job of anything I've ever seen. And I was laughing so hard at that. I was like, well, to Photoshop I go, which is the real way you're supposed to do it. And that's what I did. I was just curious. But no AI is ever done with this book or any of our books. Once again, we're only shipping to the US of A. Most of you should understand why by now. Shipping has become insanely unreasonable. So, just to help us. Hey, $41. Sweet. 3 backers. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. I'll show off some of the extra add-ons. So, like, let's say you're awesome and you back this. Yeah. So hold on. I can't back my own project. Fair enough. See what happens when I press details. Okay, this kind of works. So we only have 5 rewards, so it's not like a wild thing where you have a ton of stuff to choose from, and you're like, oh, which one should I get? We kept it pretty simple. It's like, get the book, buy the book. It's awesome. That said, because we are Bentbox Comics, and after 2 years we have... Oh, I forgot to add that. Can I add an add-on? Guys, I forgot to add an add-on. I'm going to see if I can do that. I think I can. So anyway, keep your eye out for an extra add-on. The additional add-ons you can have is obviously the sticker pack, the poster, the foil cover upgrade, and our full library access to Global Comics. All of our books digitally. For only $5, man. Mine. Iron-on patch, which is awesome. But then, if you would like a physical copy of any of our other books, along with your physical copy of this current book, you can get that. It's pretty cool. And it's only for $6 each. So if you want Ash, the one I was talking about earlier, you want Artificial 1, Artificial 2, Blossom, Last One, True Believer, World's Forgotten 1, World's Forgotten 2, Orium 1. Orium 2 is on its way. So that's another awesome update from us. What I forgot to add was... Oh boy. It's sticky. It's sticky. For no specific reason. Forgot to add Confederate Monster to the list. So that was my bad. I'll go ahead and add that. Even though you can get it on the website pretty soon, but this way if you're on you know. Where are the images? So guys, that is it. That is Our Monsters Volume 2 live now on Kickstarter. $48 for backers. That is awesome. Sorry, Adam, I wasn't looking at the chat. Absolutely love Volume 1. Came out. Sweet. How many of the concepts for this volume have you been planning since you came out with Volume 1? Sorry if I didn't snag that earlier. I was in the zone. Let's see. I'm going to give you more of an exact number because I have all the pages right here. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to forget if I did these two, 6 and 7. I think I did do 6 and 7. So I want to say I did 6 or 7 out of all the single page stories. I thought I did more than that. So it's not a lot. Once again, Luna had a bunch of really cool stuff. So we just, some are pages that didn't really fit in with issue 1, volume 1. So we brought them over to volume 2. That was nice to be able to have those as like a backup of additional pages. And then, you know, filled it in with some of my own creepiness. Yeah. It's a lot of fun to write these. It's a bit of a challenge. And then one of the things that's like a big challenge, I want to say I mentioned this before to others, where I'm like, once you get into the mindset of making a single page horror story, or you're prepping for this type of Kickstarter or this type of book, you're kind of mentally in a headspace of like creepy stuff. And I was talking to someone, I was like, you know, the issue is like, say I'm writing Artificial 1, right? Or Artificial 3, sorry, which is already written. So say I'm writing Artificial 4. If I have an idea for Artificial 4, it's cool, and I can write it down, and I can think about it, and I can contemplate it, and I'll be in the shower thinking about it, you know, because that's where I do a lot of my thinking. I'll be laying in bed late at night, not able to sleep, and having like random ideas pop into my head for story progression or conversations or anything like that. And then I'll just make sure to jot it down. That way I can add it to the story. For Our Monsters or anything horror related, those ideas have to be horrific. And that's what I was like, the funny thing of like, say I'm in bed late at night, it's 11 or midnight, and I'm just like laying there, and I'm looking up at my ceiling, and I just imagine something crawling out of the vent, coming down the side of the wall. I hear like the click clack of nails on my hardwood floor, and then I see by the foot of my bed, my covers start to climb underneath my covers and slowly work its way to me. Really cool idea for a creepy story, but now I'm laying in bed at midnight thinking about that happening, and it sucks. I get, it's like I'm a little scared right now. So I've had a ton of that stuff. I had stuff in the shower where I imagine things coming out of the drain, or things coming out of the shower head, or anytime I'm taking out my dogs for a walk, I'm imagining something terrifying happening while I'm out there in the darkness, because there's woods right in front of my house. Just imagining something staring at me from the woods, and then coming out from the woods. So like that's how I come up with these stories, and they get into the book, but the issue is they have to start somewhere, and it's in my brain. Therefore, I don't get a lot of sleep whenever I'm coming up with these things. I'll have nightmares and stuff. But hey, if I'm having nightmares, that means hopefully we're making a nice creepy book. And that's the whole point of a horror book. A nice creepy book. Yeah, I was actually getting ready to get off, but I got 5 minutes. I was just gonna do 11:30 to 12:30. So Con at the Arcade is coming. Once again, this is awesome. Keep backing Volume 2 if you can. Spread the word. Feel free to share it with friends and family. It needs your help to reach its goal. But I appreciate the layup there, Adam. Con at the Arcade is coming November 1st. I originally wanted to do a 2-day event at Dave & Buster's, but they're just not ready for that type of thing, because you need people to be there. You need people to be able to keep their stuff there, and that's tricky. I might be able to work that in someday, but I really wanted to do a Friday and Saturday, which would be Halloween, and then November 1st, which is Day of the Dead. So it would have been fun to kind of like merge those two. Couldn't really get it to work, which is fine. So we ended up just settling on Saturday, November 1st is the next Con at the Arcade. I have a couple people coming that may have some like creepy things. I'll obviously have our monsters. I'm going to see if I can have this fully ready and finished and ready to print by that day, even though the campaign ends the 31st. But like if I have everything done, then I'm just going to try and get a quick print in to have some of this at the con, in which case, Adam, if you backed it, just remind me and I'll slip you yours at the con. Save on shipping. I'll give you the $5 back, or whatever, $6. So, but we're gonna try and have like trunk or treat going on. That was my thought. Is every table will have like a fun little jack-o'-lantern bowl with some candies and a bunch of different types at each table. We're going to have the same raffle as we had last time, to where it helps support all the vendors. So if you buy anything at the Con at the Arcade from any one of the vendors, you get a raffle ticket that will go towards an hourly raffle for this year, a $25 play card, or this time, because we actually already had it once this year, $25 play card to Dave & Buster's, and that'll be once every hour. There's no limit to you winning, technically. So like if you buy a bunch of stuff hour one, and then you end up winning, and then you go to lunch, and then you come back and buy some more things, you can win twice. So try it. I would love to. I'm going to encourage as many costumes as possible. The one thing I do try and do, which is a little tricky because it's Comic-Cons, I do want to try and push the idea of this being slightly more of a family-friendly Comic-Con. So, we just try and keep down some of the slightly more inappropriate costumes. But, if you have something really creepy, especially, definitely come with something Halloween-esque. So, it was going to be bigger. Adam asked if this is going to be bigger. It was going to be bigger. It was going to be the whole dining room. And by was, I mean it isn't anymore. It's going to be the same size. We're working on logistics of having it be in the dining room. but I'm not one to. I'm a bit of a planner, and I try and think of every single possible issue or outcome or concern as I'm working through a project. That way I'm not screwed over at the end or something comes up as a surprise. So they were 100% down for that, for the dining room. And then as I actually had a meeting with them and we sat down, we walked to the dining room, we all were like, this would be awesome to do it here. I slowly started picking apart all of the potential issues. I was like, this might not be helpful. This isn't going to work out. The layout here doesn't make any sense. It's going to be hard to fit tables here, which means these people are going to feel a little crowded and not as comfortable as other vendors, which might cause an issue. So as we were going through everything, not to mention I would need, if I do it in the same space, I only need 6 tables and all the other tables are already there. If I do it in the new space, I need all new tables, and it's like 35 tables. So, which I could do, but the logistics of that is just different for what I personally have the capability to do, just because it's really just a one-man show at this point. Yeah, it just is. Because I can't really ask anyone else to help too much. Not really anyone has a lot of time. Anyway, all that to say, no, it's not going to be much bigger. We are going to have different vendors. It might be a little bit bigger based on the layout. I might try and squeeze some more tables in because last time it was very comfortably open, to the point where this time I think I could easily put in 1 or 2 more tables for more vendors. But hopefully it'll be a better event. That's my goal. And then next time, potentially we'll work on the dining room. So, we'll see. It's all in the plans, but I have this Kickstarter going on this year, or this month. I have vacation coming October 10th through the 17th. I'm going up to Pennsylvania for a while. I have a con on the 18th. As soon as I get back the next day, I have a con in Fort Myers. I have a bunch of prep work to do for Con at the Arcade. I have to make sure this runs well and everything's set up correctly, and all the digital rewards go out October 31st, and then the next day is Con at the Arcade. So it's going to be a very hectic October. So as I was looking at that, just to be frank, I didn't really want to add additional obstacles or variables into the next Con at the Arcade. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. Obviously, once again, invite as many people as you can. Tell as many people as you can. It'll be cool. All right. That's it. We're at 48. We're at 85. So that went a little... it did not update quickly enough. That's cool. 85. Let's see what people bought. Let's see. We have 1 digital backer, 1 digital catch-up backer. So that's a newbie. That's a new person, which is always fun. 4 bought the regular. 0 bought the catch-up, which means most of those people who bought the regular have already bought the. They were part of issue 1, and obviously none of these yet. Better get on that, people. Sweet. All right, well, that's it for me. I got to get back to my my day-to-day shenanigans that I get up to. Thanks for hanging, Adam. I'll see you in November 1st. And then anyone else hanging out or watching this later, go get Our Monsters Volume 2. Do me a favor and let some people know about it. The more, once again, the more money we raise for this, the more money we take in, just helps us make the next one. All right. Where am I at? Oh, big screen. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for hanging.